Hi guys, welcome to the channel. In this channel, I'm going to discuss some DBMS questions. DBMS questions implies database management systems. Database management systems, we usually manage the data which are inside our PC, and using a specific software. In my case, I'm using a software called HeidiSQL. HeidiSQL is a database management software where you can manage the data which is in your PC. Now the database management system is, as I told you, it's HeidiSQL, and the program and the language that I'm going to use in these conditions is SQL. Okay. Now in this video I'm going to discuss the first question. Now in this I have uploaded 10 videos in this channel. In each video I will discuss one question from database management systems. Now in this video I am going to discuss the first question. Okay, now this is my first question set 1. Okay, now I am going to read the question and after I read the question I will explain how to do it using my HeidiSQL software. Okay. Question set 1. The data of all the students and teachers of Pingaduwa Mahavidyalaya are stored in books. As a result, some data has been destroyed. Okay. Therefore, the principal of the school has decided to enter the data of all students and teachers in the school into computer software. Okay. Now the software was commissioned by AI Soft. It's a company, and you work as a software engineer for this company. And the part you are assigned is to create the database. Now you are the creator of the database, and you use any type of software you want. And in this video I am going to use HeidiSQL, and there's another software called MySQL Workbench. That's the official one. That's the official tool that I'm going to use. But HeidiSQL is much more user friendly and has a nice interface. So I prefer HeidiSQL. And since I am designing the database for this system, and they asked to design the database system using this question. Okay. Now the first question is create a database called school DB to store teacher and student data. So first of all just let me explain something. Now a database consists of tables. Now in MySQL database management systems, we use tables to store data. Now in other database management systems, like for example you have JSON and XML. Those are some famous database management systems, and in those systems we use other type of ways other than using tables. Okay, but now in MySQL we use tables to store data. Now they are asking us to create a database called SchoolDB, and inside that database you are supposed to make tables. And in the first table I have to design a table for students and another table for teachers. Okay. Now let's start off with the software. This is the software. It has HeidiSQL written on it, and let's just first create the database. And here this is my database management file. Now when I right click it, and it says create new, and I click on database. And they have told us to create a database called SchoolDB. No? So that's what exactly I'm going to do. Okay. Now I click OK, and it says it already has a database management system database called SchoolDB. So I'm going to just delete that, then come back right here. Okay, here it is. I'm just going to drop it. Drop it means I'm going to delete it. And let's create that database again. Since I dropped it, now I have vacancy to create the database again. Okay. Now what what I did was I just right click the unnamed folder and I go to create the database. Okay. Now I just type on the name of the database, school DB, and I clicked on enter. Okay. Now I just go down right here and it says okay, school DB, and I click on. Now this is the database this is the database that I have designed. This is the database I have designed, school 00. This is the database that I have designed. Now here is the database that I have designed. Now in this database, I'm just going to click right click and go to create new and create new. Now I told earlier what we do inside databases, we create tables. Now as we are going to design tables inside the database, I just right click on the database, and then there onwards go and click create new and design a table inside it. Okay. Now this is the interface I am going to design my table. Now first I have to give a table name for this. Now according to the question, we don't lose the question. Now here we don't go out of track of the question. First we must follow the instructions given in the question. Okay. Now it says to create a database called student. A table name student. So that's what exactly what we are going to do. Student. Okay. And I am going to add a column. This is how you add the columns in the database, in the table. Now here we are inside the table, inside the database, and we are designing the table here. Okay. Now here it says, now these are the columns. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 columns. These are the data types. I will explain how to enter those data types onto our columns, and these are the length of the characters. Okay. Now I'm just going to divide the screen into 2 so it's easy for me to explain you the question. Okay. Now this is my table name, and my first column name is index underscore number. And here once you double click on this, here you have some selections over here, and I'm just going to click. Now this has the data type called varchar, so I select. Now this is a text data type. Now if you're going to enter text onto this column, you have to select the data type called varchar. Okay. Now varchar is the data type I called upon. Now here the length of the characters is the default value is 50, so I'll just put on 10. Okay. Now my next column has my next column is first name. Okay. First underscore name. Then the data type is the same, but the length of the characters is different. About 45 characters. It allows 45 characters. Now these are the basic settings I am going to implement for this table. That means this table allows the length of the characters to be 45. Now in the last name column also they have also allowed, in the question they have also allowed characters, number of characters as 45. Now then just I am going to move on to the next column. Next column is gender column. Okay. Gender column. Okay. And the data type is varchar, but the length of the characters is still 10. Okay. And I have to create a column to enter the contact details of the student. The data type is still varchar, and okay, and the length of the characters is still 10. Okay. Now I am going to add another column, the last column of the student table is the address column. Okay. Still the data type is varchar. Actually all the data types of this table is varchar, and but we allow the number of characters to be 60. Okay, now this is the basic format of the table. Now once you visualize it, the name of the table is student, and you have 6 columns. You have 6 columns for the table. Now I'm not going to enter data for this table because there's a separate question for that. In these videos I'm going to explain how to enter data into the table in a separate video, but in this question I'm supposed to introduce you how to design the database and the tables inside. Okay, now this is the basic structure of the data of the database and the table. Now I'm just going to save the settings what I have designed. Okay, it may take some time. Okay, so once I click on this data column in this software, it shows us the table here. Now here my first column is index number, first name, last name, gender, contact number and address. And yeah, just my spellings is a little bit wrong. Okay, now once you save it again. Okay, so there's an error in the software, so I'm just going to restart the software. Now in those conditions, when you already design the database and the table, and once you do when you have some errors in the software, the software in the interior algorithm of the software, they have shown us an error message and then repeat the whole process again. Now we have to I'm just going to open the software again because an error occurred while I was doing it. Okay, now it's fine. The data table is fine. It's completely fine. And okay. Now I have created the school DB database and the student table. Okay. Next, what we have to do? We have to create another table called teacher. Okay. Now this table I have to create inside the same database now. So I'm just going to right click on my database and choose the table column again, and we are going to design the next table. Okay. Teacher, my next table name is teacher. Here it says us to create a table called teacher. Okay. Now I don't have to put any comments here. Now here I am just going to add the columns here. Now my first column 1, I'm just going to name it teacher reg number. Teacher reg number means teacher registration number. Okay. My data type is varchar. Now in this question also all the data types is varchar, and the length of characters of this column is 10. And I'm going to go on for my second column. Now my second column is first underscore name. The data type is still varchar and the length of the characters is 45. Okay, 45. Okay. My next column, last name. The data type is still varchar and the length of the characters which are allowed in this column is also 45. And my fourth column is the gender column. It's where you enter the gender of the teacher, of the specific teacher. The data type is still varchar, as I told. All the data types of this column is varchar, of this table is varchar, and the length of the characters is 10. And my fifth column, I am going to enter contact number of the teacher. So he or she should enter the contact number and enter his or her contact number in this column. And in a contact number in Sri Lanka, we usually allow a contact number of about 10 digits. Every mobile number, every LAN number has a mobile number, and that number contains 10 characters. Okay. Now my sixth and last column is email column, and in that email column I'm going to allow the data type varchar, and still the length of the characters is 50. Okay. Now once I save my settings, I'm just going to double check this one because earlier I had an error, and I'm just going to save the settings. So once I go to observe my table created, now this is the table. Now here in this school DB database I have created two tables, student and teacher, according to the question. Now in this student table I have designed this table. In this student table you can observe the student table here: index number, first name, last name, gender, contact number and address. And in the teacher table I have entered these columns: teacher number, first name, last name, gender, contact, email. Okay. Now in this video I am just going to explain you the first question here. Now I hope you got a basic idea about how to create these databases, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.